Hello everybody, my name is Razorblade Mango, and I'm here today to give my, not exactly impressions, but my, not even really prediction, well, kind of my predictions on how the E3 conferences are going to go this year. So, I love E3. I know there's a lot of cynicism and mistrust behind the conferences. But to me personally, and I to be fair, I get where they're coming from. There's been a lot of shit they've shown at E3 that has not come to pass or doesn't even come close to looking like it is. But I don't know. I tune into it every year, and I get caught up in the excitement. I love all the game reviews. I love E3. I just think it's like my personal Christmas in a way. So I always like watching it, even with the reservations that I have about certain things regarding it. So this is the third year for E3 in the new generation of consoles. Suffice to say, 2013 belonged to Sony. Sony came in and just kicked the ever-loving shit out of Microsoft. Now, last year was a lot more even. Even though I do think Microsoft had the better conference last year, Sony's, while it had more exciting things for me personally, it was a drag in the middle. It was not anywhere near as consistent as Microsoft's was. The pacing on Microsoft's conference was just way better, and I liked their approach a lot more with the whole first half is 2014 games, second half 2015 and beyond. I love that approach. I hope they keep that up this year, because that's a really great pacing that they have. Sony could take a hint from that. And I just felt like last year was actually just kind of underwhelming. Looking back on it, I'm thinking, man, I really enjoyed last year in the moment, but looking back, man, it was just so underwhelming. Just a lot of things about it that did not really excite me, especially some things that came to pass, like Destiny not being all that great, and The Order sucking, and just the Halo Master Chief Collection being a fucking bomb, like the disaster when it came out. So goes to show you can't trust everything you see at E3, but again, I can't help but be wrapped up in the excitement about it. Doesn't mean I'm going to spend money on every fucking game that they announce, but, it's a nice hype machine thing. It's fun. It's for the fun. I always have not a party, but I always get together with friends. We always watch it. I mean, it's a fun day. It's just a day to hang out with your friends and enjoy being in the moment about it. So, now this year will prove to be interesting, because unlike last year, we actually have one big company that's their first time at bat with an E3 conference, and that's Bethesda, and that's who I'm going to start out with first, because I think they've already stolen the show. I honestly don't think there's going to be anything Microsoft or Sony or Ubisoft or EA or Nintendo or Square Enix is going to show, unless Square Enix were to pull Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer out of their ass, but I extremely doubt that's going to happen. So all we've got, really, with Bethesda, all they need to do is show 2 games, and I will be excited. The first half, just show Doom, because I've been waiting for a Doom sequel for years now, ever since Doom 3, ever since I played Doom 3 on my cousin's original Xbox when I was younger, and I had a blast playing it. So I've been looking forward to a Doom 4 ever since. And I'm really excited to see that they're finally getting along with it. It most likely will come out this year. Also, the big one, Fallout 4, which we've all been waiting for even longer. It feels longer. It's not technically longer, but it feels longer. So, yeah, I honestly, all I have to do is just show those 2 games and have them look amazing, and I think they'll just win E3. They'll just completely just sneak past all the big hoopla and take the award for themselves. That's all they gotta show. You don't even necessarily have to have a release date. Just have a release window. Say 2016 or 15 or whatever. Just show something cool at Bethesda's conference. Just do that. And that's really all I gotta talk about with Bethesda, because I don't think their conference is going to be as huge and big and as like a fireworks display of of showmanship like Microsoft and Sony do with the whole lights show and stuff. But so anyway, Microsoft. I think if you were to have like a boxing match, round 1 was E3 2013, and Sony won that by a fucking knockout. And then round 2, Microsoft got the edge on Sony last year. So round 3 this year, and I know I'm going to get a lot of shit for this, but I'm just going to come out and say it. I don't think either conferences are going to be all that exciting, honestly. I'm not really... I mean, yeah, I think Microsoft's is going to be the better conference out of the two, because they just have more stuff to talk about that's coming out this year. So the appeal... And I've said this before... The point of E3 is divided into 2 teams. If you already own the console that they're preaching about, they need to sell you on why your investment was a good choice, why it was worthwhile. And I feel like Sony did that perfectly in 2013. They kind of struggled in 2014, but they did okay. This year, especially coming into the holiday season, the summer season, there really aren't that many big exclusives for PS4. All they really been piggybacking on is this exclusive content crap that I'm sick to death of both sides doing. Anyway, I'll get to Sony later. I'm getting off track. But Microsoft, they have Halo 5. They have Rise of the Tomb Raider. That's already 2 big exclusives coming out this holiday season. So... already, they've got that. And the reason they bought Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is dumb, is to compete with Uncharted 4. And now that Uncharted 4 is out of the way, and in 2016, they gotta really show people, okay, this is why you need to buy an Xbox One this holiday season. Or buy it on Xbox 360, because it's on that as well. They don't want you to know that it's on Xbox 360, but it is. So don't let that fool you. It's going to be cross-gen, which is really disappointing, but, you know, what are you going to do? Halo 5 is going to be the big thing that they show. Because that, Halo is their goddamn bread and butter was their goddamn bread and butter back in the day. I mean, you couldn't have a Halo, you could not have an Xbox conference without them mentioning something about Halo. It's always goddamn Halo. And this year, we're going to get Halo 5. October 27th, I think, is when it comes out. I think that's the correct date. But yeah, that's definitely going to be their big highlight of the show. They're gonna pull all the stops with that. But yeah, I mean, so those are 2 big games. And then what else they could talk about? Crackdown, which they showed a CGI trailer for last year, which sounds promising. I recently picked up the original Crackdown, and it's all right. I mean, there's some problems. There's a lot of problems with it, but you know, they could. It's not as great as I remember it being, but yeah, I mean, there are problems with it, and they could easily fix that with a new Crackdown. Having it be like a 24-player online go around and blow shit up kind of affair. Have dynamic ways to take down all the gangs, not just run up a building and shoot them, and that shit gets boring after a while. So Crackdown has potential. Scalebound from Platinum Games, that definitely has potential too, even though it's an MMO, which I'm not all that crazy about, especially after Destiny, but there's potential there. They recently announced this morning that they're going to be showing a new Plants vs. Zombies game at Microsoft's conference, and you can bet your ass it's Garden Warfare 2, which I'm really excited about, and I never in a million fucking years thought I would say that. And as you remember, for my frequent viewers, I put Garden Warfare on my top 10 games of 2014 list. And I stand by that. I really enjoy that game. I played it this morning, as a matter of fact. I really, really fucking enjoy it. Yes, I have problems with it. Yes, I think it's kind of hindered by the microtransactions, but whatever. It's still a really fun game. One of the things EA didn't completely fuck up. So, there's that, which I'm hoping they don't do this thing again where it's Xbox, a timed exclusive on Xbox One, Xbox 360, and then PlayStation's gonna get it later. I'm like, ugh, I'm gonna groan if they say that, because I hope they do a same day release for all consoles, but you know, what are you gonna do? It's Microsoft. They have that ability now. They're doing it with AAA games now. And, oh god, if they announce any more things like that, I'm gonna be so fucking pissed. Same with Sony. Because after that shit they pulled with Street Fighter 5 at the PlayStation Experience last year, I'm sick to death of them pulling that card out and being like, here's a AAA franchise that you guys know and love. Next entry is only available on our system. To me, that's bullshit. And that is a really ugly trend that they could stop. And I've seen fucking game websites out there encouraging this. No! Don't do it! It makes you look like an asshole. And you know who wins in this situation? Only the greedy money. Not the customers. They don't win. The customers lose. Because if you don't own the console, you're screwed. And I mean, granted, I think what Sony did with Street Fighter is a lot worse than what they did with Microsoft. And Microsoft, they bought a timed exclusive, which is dumb, but it's eventually going to come to Sony consoles and PC. But freaking Street Fighter 5, Xbox will never get it unless Capcom were to pull something out from under Sony's watch and be like, oh, here you go, guys. Here's the Ultra Street Fighter 5 Hyper Arcade Super Mega Ultra Edition over here. You finally get it. We listened to our fans and we're giving it to you for Xbox. Good God. So anyway, and also we might hear some news about the new Phantom Dust, which would be really interesting, because I've heard that game is practically dead now. But you know, we'll wait and see. Gears of War, the new one is announced to make an appearance. Honestly, I like Gears of War, but I hope it's nothing like if they show Marcus in it again, because I thought they took care of that in the third game where they pretty much killed the Queen and the Locusts are done. So I guess not. So I guess there's more to that story. They're doing the whole God of War approach where they do side stories now, like Gears of War Judgment, which I wasn't all that crazy about, but whatever. Do with it what you will. And then I'm hoping for some new IPs. They've already announced that they're going to focus more on and here's where I think Microsoft's going to have the more interesting showing than Sony is, because Microsoft is showing they're going to have even Phil Spencer confirmed this. I have a good amount of respect for Phil Spencer. He went out and said, we're going to have a focus on first party this year. All right, I mean third party is great. We love third party, but the reason you buy a certain console is for the exclusives. And he's absolutely right. If you're not going to entice me with experiences that I can't get anywhere else, what the fuck is the point of doing a conference then? If you're not going to show me the exclusives, then don't do a conference. And that's what I kind of felt like Sony failed to come across last year. Really, the only things they showed briefly that are available on PlayStation 4 only are The Order 1886, Bloodborne, and Uncharted 4. That's it. Everything else they showed, Mortal Kombat, Metal Gear, Arkham Knight, Abzu, all that shit. Oh, Let It Die actually is a PS4 exclusive, but whatever. All of that is either coming to PC, Xbox One, or PS3, PS Vita, whatever. A lot of that was not PlayStation 4 exclusive. And I want this conference I want both these guys to focus on first party. Another concern I have for this year is that they're going to focus way too much on the virtual reality crap, which I couldn't give two fucking shits about. I don't care about Project Morpheus. I don't care about the HoloLenses or what the hell is that other one called? The Oculus Rift. I don't care. Virtual reality to me, I'm not interested in it. I'm sorry. I know there are people out there that are interested in it, that really care about it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not one of those guys. And I don't know. I just feel like this year they're going to be all about virtual reality and augmented reality and those damn HoloLens, and it's just, I'm gonna be sitting back and being like, I don't care. Show me, unless those HoloLens games are like compatible, it's not required, then whatever. If I can play them without the damn HoloLenses and their PS4 exclusive, then fine. I will gladly take it. I have no problem with that. And if it looks good, of course. But, especially for Sony, I want to warn people about this. For people that are really excited about their virtual reality stuff, how many times has Sony, and I love Sony to death, but they do not have a good history when it comes to these extra add-ons to their primary consoles. PSP, PS Vita, iToy, PlayStation Move, and now this. Or PlayStation TV also. And now this. How many of those have had real substantial support from Sony? Once they've made a big hoopla about it, how many of them actually, kept to their word and delivered time and time again that they are really making strides to make stuff for that core audience, for the people that bought the PlayStation Vita and nothing else? How many games out there do they really have that are really exclusive? Maybe like one or two? And even those one or two, I've heard they're bringing Gravity Rush and Tearaway to the PS4. So there's that. Look at their history. None of them, not a single one of them, have had really substantial support. PSP, no. PS Vita, no. The iToy, no. The PS Move, no. PlayStation TV, no. None of them have had it. And they have that reputation for completely not completely abandoning, but giving all this lip service about how they're going to support their extra stuff, and they don't do it. If you aren't a primary console, you're not a concern to Sony. You're like a little footnote on their reports. Oh, the PlayStation 4 is doing wonderful. We have all these things for the PlayStation 4. Yeah, and then some shit for the Vita. It doesn't matter, alright? It doesn't fucking matter. There's a reason why people got angry when Final Fantasy Type 0 wasn't announced for the PlayStation Vita. Because they wanted to promote the hell out of that Final Fantasy 15 Episode to Sky thing. Which, opinions aside, it was pretty shitty that they didn't do that. So, I don't know. I just feel like this virtual reality thing, and even the Kinect, no one gives a shit about the Kinect. The Kinect was fucking broken. And how many people really cared about the Kinect when that came out? I guarantee you, the people that are going to buy these things day one and not later on down the line when the technology is better and doesn't give you any kind of health risk or anything, serious health risk, because even PlayStation can give you health risk for seizures and stuff. But yeah, how many people are going to buy these virtual reality consoles? I think it's going to be 1 year that they're going to dedicate to it, and then after that they're going to see that it's really underwhelming in sales, and they're just going to completely abandon it. That's how I feel it's going to happen. So, prove me wrong, Sony. I'll buy one if the price is reasonable and if the exclusives for it look amazing. They look irresistible, but I haven't really seen anything so far. And granted, they probably are saving it for their conference, but whatever. Okay, so I think Microsoft's not going to be great, but it's going to be better than Sony's. So moving on from Microsoft, going into EA. EA, all their conference was last year was just talk. This behind-the-scenes video documentary look, blah, blah, blah. All this lip service, blah, blah, blah. Very little gameplay, blah, blah, blah. CGI trailers, in-engine trailers, blah, 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 bleh. So my question this year is how much of actual gameplay footage that isn't bullshit are they going to show? Not very much, because it's EA, and they have that reputation, and they've earned it time and time again. I mean, yeah, they're going to show off stuff like Star Wars Battlefront, which you guys know my feelings on that. They're going to show off Need for Speed, which, fuck you, for online only. No. They're going to show off, I think it's either EA or Ubisoft that's doing this new property called Hero that I've heard rumors about, but whatever. So they've done that. They're doing, I've heard they have rumors that they're doing, of course they're doing Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2, they're doing Mirror's Edge 2, they're doing, most likely they're going to have something on Mass Effect 4. And then there's the sports. Sports. Which they do every year. They have a gigantic showcase for their sports stuff. They're going to have FIFA, NBA Live, NHL, maybe a new UFC game. They're going to have a new golf game coming out. They're going to have they're going to have the new Madden. They're going to have a ton of sports stuff. Honestly, the only one I actually care about is FIFA. And as I'm a new FIFA fan here. I picked up FIFA 14 on like a dime, and I really enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. I'm having a blast playing it. So I'm gonna wait. So I probably am gonna pick up FIFA 16 because I'm really into FIFA now. So yeah, I never thought I'd say that, but I'm actually really into a sports game, and I don't even like sports. I don't really care. So yeah, I really like FIFA now. So good job to you, EA. You've actually converted me to a FIFA fan. Well, at least their games in the sport anyway, but yeah. So yeah, I don't think EA is going to have that good of a conference. I think, again, it's going to be a lot of lip service, a lot of the behind-the-scenes bullshit that they did last year. Anyway, moving on. Ubisoft. As I like to call it, the god-awful comedy variety hour, where they bring on Aisha Tyler, who I love on Archer. I think she's wonderful on Archer. But I'm sorry, I don't like her doing these conferences. In my opinion, she's not funny. And I just think, and even like her little cameo, even though her little like amusing cameo in Watch Dogs, which I kind of somewhat amusing, but looking back, I just groan at that shit. I just don't see what people saw in that conference last year. There was a lot of people said that Ubisoft's conference last year apparently stole the show. And I just kind of had to raise my eyebrows and go, you guys saw the same conference that I did, right? Where they pretty much came on and just showed a bunch of CGI trailers and some uninteresting on-stage demos of dance games and the damn Shape Up game and Aisha Tyler making jokes and saying fuck it was just, I'm sorry, it was painful to sit through. I'm sorry, these Ubisoft conferences, they fucking suck. They really suck. They're notorious for being some of the worst ones ever. I think it was Mr. Caffeine that was at an Ubisoft conference once. That was embarrassing enough. Man, granted, Ice Tyler is no Mr. Caffeine, but whatever. It's just they're so dull, they're so boring, they're so painful to listen to. And I just don't like them. But, what can they show this year? Well, their big thing is Assassin's Creed Syndicate, of course, because they got to do Assassin's Creed every goddamn year. Rainbow Six Siege is another one they're probably going to show, because that's going to be available sometime this year. Which, I hate to say it again, but every fucking time I see another damn trailer for this game, it looks so unimpressive. It just looks like, and the graphics really aren't all that great. I think they look great, but they're not what they looked like at the E3 2014 conference, which, again, they could be pulled another Watch Dogs, showing you something that looks entirely different from what the final product's going to look like. And to me, it just does not look all that impressive. And I'm still a little pissed that they canceled Patriots, because Patriots was set to be a huge change, like a huge, being a lot of win to the sales for the Rainbow Six franchise, and they just completely bailed on that because they were scared of what they were going to show in that game, and yeah, it was going to cause controversy, and you know what? They don't like controversy, so rather than sucking it up and dealing with it like a company that actually supports their vision, they took the coward's way out and canceled it. So fuck you, Ubisoft, for canceling Rainbow Six Patriots. That's just fucking gutless. What else can they show? The Division. Honestly, I'm not all that hyped about The Division. I think it looks okay, but it's nothing I would rush out to go purchase. I've heard whispers that they're going to do Prince of Persia, which I think is really interesting because we haven't had a good Prince of Persia game in a very long time, probably since Two Thrones. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see. And of course, they're gonna do another Just Dance 2016, probably another Shape Up 2 or whatever, a bunch of dumb Connect related stuff. And then I've heard whispers that they're probably going to show a teaser for Watch Dogs 2, which just makes me go, ugh, like, oh god. I don't want to go through another marketing campaign for that because I'll just be reminded how fucking god awful the first one was. That's seriously, guys. I mean, if you love the game, you know, that's fine, but me, I fucking despise Watch Dogs. My frequent viewers will know how much I hate it, but yeah, so that's Ubisoft. And their awful comedy variety hour. I think they're gonna have the worst conference. They always do. Every goddamn year they do. So, moving on to Sony. Of course, Uncharted 4 is going to be their big thing. The Nathan Drake collection is going to be a big thing. Street Fighter V is probably going to be a big thing there. And Until Dawn is probably going to make a little appearance, but honestly, like, what can they show this year? I know what they're going to do. They're going to do a bunch of third-party stuff, and they're going to pull this thing where it's exclusive content first only on PlayStation 4. And to that, I just roll my eyes and I think, oh my god, exclusive content via DLC is not why I bought a PlayStation 4. I bought a PlayStation 4 mainly for Arkham Knight and Kingdom Hearts 3, but whatever, I want exclusives. Bloodborne, that's how you do it, guys. You tease Bloodborne, you show something cool for it, and then you release it within a reasonable time. So, and I've heard rumors that Guerrilla Games is going to show their next thing. That they might finally show The Last Guardian, which I highly doubt, but whatever, one can dream. Which, it's time they showed that anyway. It's been so long since we've heard anything about Last Guardian. Team Eco has had years to work on this thing. Let us see something. Just do it. Or just like shit or get off the pot, guys. Come on. This is fucking ridiculous at this point. And yeah, I honestly just don't think their conference is going to be all that interesting, because, you know, I don't know, unless they were to announce some, like, amazing, stunning new IPs that are coming out this holiday season, they don't have anything that eclipses Microsoft. Yeah, you have Uncharted 4, but that's not coming out until 2016. Yeah, you have Street Fighter 5, but that's not coming out until later next year, probably. You have Until Dawn, but that's not a system seller, and that's coming out in August. So you gotta show something. It cannot be indie games. It cannot. I know you guys love indie games. I love indie games too. You guys love to show your indie games out on stage, but you cannot pull the same trick that you've done 2 years in a row and at the PlayStation Experience. 2 times in 1 year, where you just came out and said, indie. What about first party AAA? Oh, here's some CGI trailers for stuff. You can't do that anymore, guys. You're within 2 years into the console cycle. You need to be showing off, and you've already had Bloodborne. That's a great start for this year. And then, again, you had the Order 1886, but whatever. Yeah, Bloodborne, that's a great start for you guys. The first PS4 exclusive masterpiece. Great. Awesome. Well, actually, no. Maybe PT is the first one. Yeah, I'd say PT is probably the first one. But again, that's not a AAA heavily marketed thing. It was a demo, but a damn amazing demo nonetheless. Again, rest in peace, Silent Hills. But that's gone. You can't purchase that anymore. So that was a one-time thing. You have Bloodborne, which is good. Then again, you also have all these exclusive IPs that have really just been underwhelming or suck. So you guys really need to come out hard with these exclusives this year, because you cannot coast on goodwill anymore. That goodwill meter, that hype meter that you've been coasting on for the past few years, it's about to run dry. Microsoft is offering the better value, and they're going to do a 1 terabyte hard drive. For both of them are going to do that. That's going to become the norm now, which, good. That should have been the norm from the fucking beginning, but whatever. At least they're doing it now. They're not waiting until oh, it's a super slim model for 1 terabyte. They're doing it now, less than 2 years later. So that's good. So you have that, and you guys need to come at us hard with those exclusives, those AAA budget, and I'm not talking about PlayStation exclusives. I'm not talking about PS4, PS3, and PS Vita. I'm talking, because when people say, oh, well, Little Big Planet 3 is a PlayStation 4 exclusive. Yeah, well, MLB 15 is PlayStation 4. No, it's not. It's on PS3. It's on PS Vita. You can get those. You can get those on elsewhere besides the PlayStation 4. Those aren't exclusives, at least in my opinion. Even Street Fighter 5, that's not an exclusive. You paid for that shit to be on the PS4 only, which is dumb, but that's on PC as well. So that's not enticing enough to get a PS4. And since it's crossplay, which is good, thank God. But yeah, I mean, that's not an exclusive. I don't count that as an exclusive. I don't count these games that are going to be on PS4 and PC as PlayStation 4 exclusives or timed exclusives. I don't count that either. I'm talking about real exclusives. I think people have lost sight of, I think these companies have lost sight on what an exclusive is. Metal Gear Solid 3 back in the day. You didn't see that on the Xbox. You didn't see that on the PC. It was on PlayStation 2 only. You only could get that on PlayStation 2. Fucking God of War. You can't get that anywhere else. You can only get that on PlayStation 2 back then. That was a real exclusive. Which again, oh, please, I hope they don't. I mean, I'm burned out on God of War at this point, but you know, if they show something interesting for God of War 4 that I think, oh, that could actually give the franchise new life, don't have it be Kratos. I'm tired of seeing Kratos. I'm tired of seeing Kratos fucking doing these side stories for him when it really, because Ascension was kind of the last straw for me, and I don't mind Ascension, but that just showed me that the franchise is really running thin with Kratos as the lead. They need to reboot the damn franchise. I don't know, maybe put it in like Norse mythology or Chinese or Japanese mythology or something like that. Even though those aren't as widely known as Greek mythology, but whatever. There are other gods of war out there. So, I don't know, what could they show? They could also show Ratchet and Clank, which, you know, again, remaster. They're going to show the Uncharted collection, again, remaster. They could show, I don't know, more HD collections, which I would groan if they showed any more, because they already have 3 that they're doing now. They're already doing God of War 3, they're doing Uncharted Trilogy, and they're doing Ratchet and Clank. I'm tired of seeing these goddamn remasters. To me, it's just fucking lazy. And yeah, the only reason I'm okay with those is because people want the Uncharted trilogy. No one was asking for God of War, I guess some people were asking for God of War 3 on the PS4, but not enough to make a full big deal about it. Not enough. Not even the Ratchet and Clank thing. And for the love of God, do not dedicate 10 minutes to your show to talking about television again. Alright? I didn't give 2 fucking shits about Powers back then. I don't give 2 fucking shits about Powers now. I hate that show almost. That show is so fucking boring. So that was not worthy of having 10 minutes dedicated to it last year at E3. Don't ever pull that again. Mention maybe, have like a montage, like a 1-minute montage of the TV shows you're bringing to PlayStation 4. That's it. That's all the time I'll give you. I'll give you 5 minutes to talk about virtual reality. I'll give you 1 minute to talk about TV shows. Those 6 minutes, do what you want with that stuff. Everything else needs to be about games. I don't care about your statistics. I don't care about PlayStation View. I don't care about PlayStation TV. I don't care about... Sorry, guys. I don't care about the Vita. But, you know, that's fine. They show exclusive stuff for the Vita. That's fine. But me, I personally, I'm like, I don't own a Vita, so... You know, that part of the conference just doesn't appeal to me, because I don't own one. Unless it's going to be on PS4 as well, but what's the fucking point of showing it? Whatever. So, I don't know. I just don't think Sony's is going to be all that interesting. I hope they prove me wrong. I waved a fucking flag for Sony, but, you know, I don't know. I just don't think it's going to be all that interesting. So, anyway. Again, Nintendo, just show Metroid. They're not going to show Zelda, which, you know, I don't really care what Nintendo's going to do, because I don't know anything Nintendo related, besides a Game Boy Color, which I still use every now and then. But, yeah, Square Enix's conference, that could be interesting, because I've heard rumors that they're going to show off a new Hitman. Of course, they're going to talk about Rise of the Tomb Raider. They're going to talk about Dragon Quest Heroes, which I'm actually getting kind of excited over, now that I know Yangus and Jessica are in it, who I really like from Dragon Quest VIII, Journey of the Cursed King, which, if they were ever to do an HD remaster of something with an updated graphics, updated music, all that, do Dragon Quest VIII. Do that, and not for the goddamn 3DS. I've heard rumors that they're doing it for the 3DS. Don't do that for the 3DS. Do it for the PS4, PlayStation 4, or not at all. Okay? Do it that way. Go all out on the PlayStation 4. That's the one remake besides the Uncharted trilogy that I would support 100%. Because people have been wanting that for years. And a Riding Out of Stories remaster, if you could please do that, because that's one of my all-time favorite games that no one knows about from Square Enix. If you don't know what that game is, check out my video on it. I think it's titled "What is my favorite game of all time?" Which it's not anymore, but you know, it's definitely like the most influential to me. So, I know they're not showing Final Fantasy 15, which, you know, I'm okay with. I'm actually, unlike last year where I got fucking pissed that they were like, no, we're gonna skip out on Final Fantasy 15 this year. This year, I'm okay with it, because they've done more than enough to promote Final Fantasy 15 during the year, especially with Episode du Sky and the version 2 coming out tomorrow, which is awesome. So, that's fine. You can show maybe a little mini trailer. That's good. I don't care. Now, Kingdom Hearts 3. They're most likely not going to show anything. They're definitely not. I can almost guarantee you they're not going to show anything. But at least talk about it a little bit. Just a tiny little bit. Talk about it. Something. Reveal a new world. Reveal, I don't know. Reveal what Sora's new costume looks like, or something. Just do something that's going to whet my appetite until D23 Japan in November. So do that. I mean, that's cool. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for it. Like I said, I think Bethesda's going to have the best conference, and I think Microsoft's going to do better than Sony, but we'll see. I'm looking forward to all of them. Definitely going to have my impressions video about them when it comes out. I hesitated doing one last year, and I missed out, but this year I'm definitely going to do it, because this year will definitely, hopefully, be more interesting than last year. So anyway, but yeah. Thank you guys for watching. If you like what you see, subscribe. Let me know what you think E3 this year is going to be like. I don't know, I guess. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.